Hey yo, what's poppin', my faux shizzlers? It's your boy FizzleTheHizzle, aka Ben here, bringing guys the NCL Week 5 Team Builder against Ian, coach of the Ladner Lanturn. He's sitting at 3-1 right now, so he's looking pretty solid so far in the first 4 games of the season, and we are currently 4-0, as you can see by the thumbnail. So we're starting off the way I really wanted to start off. I want to be more consistent with the way I start off seasons and stuff like that, and I feel like I'm definitely doing better at that. Minus WPL, because that was just an awful show for everybody. But yeah, man, I'm starting off strong, and I'm looking up to pick up my 5th one of the season, but it's not going to come easy, boys. Ian is easily one of the best battlers in the entire league, and I'm honestly really scared of this battle because I really want to keep my streak going, and yeah, I really want to do it. So before I get into the rest of the video, make sure to show some love on the like button for your Tampa Bay Weasels going 4-0 right now. Show some love on the like button and subscribe if you're new. Again, I'm trying to get to 200 subs before the end of the year. That would be phenomenal. So I have around 25 more to 200, so that'd be phenomenal, and that'd just be amazing in general. So yeah, show some love. And yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into his team, go over it really quickly. Megalodios, easily one of the best Pokemon allowed in this format. He got a like 3rd pick or something, which I thought should have gone first easily. But you know, can do so many things. It's so fat with reliable recovery. Gets really good utility with like Thunder Wave. It doesn't get Thunder Wave, right? It does get Thunder Wave. Yeah, I don't know why I doubted that. It gets Thunder Wave, Defog, stuff like that. Can set up really easily with Calm Mind. One of the best Calm Mind users in the entire game. Has a plethora of coverage on both sides, so you already know what Megalodios does. It's a monster. Torn T, it's a really good Pokemon, really fast, hits hard on both sides, really solid coverage on both sides as well. Another really solid defog to support the Latias and stuff like that, and gets access to U-turn, and it's really good at using Z moves as well, so that's what I expect in this matchup. Conkeldurr, a tremendous physical breaker. I was about to say on both sides, but it has 55 special attack. I meant physical breaker. Gets 3 amazing abilities with Guts, Sheer Force, and Iron Fist. Gets really good coverage with like Priority and Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Elemental Punches, Poison Jab, stuff like that. It's just really hard to take down. And well, yeah, because it's fat on the physical side. 105.95 is actually really good. You can slap an Assault Vest on there too. Whimsicott is really scary because it can run Chlorophyll against my Sun team, which might not happen, but you never know. Prankster Subseed sets, I've lost to those before. They can just 6-0 entire teams with Subseed, so it's incredible. It can run like a Life Orb set with like Dual Stab and Psychic, stuff like that, and gets Prankster Defog as well, so really good support for like everything for the Latias right now, because he has a lot of defoggers. 3 really solid defoggers. Tentacruel, he has a more removal with the spin. Can set T-Spikes to wear down my team, which I think may come. And Tentacruel's the best way he can stop my Mega Houndoom from just destroying his team. And can Scald things, Sludge Bomb. It's pretty fast too. It's pretty fast too at 100 base speed, and it's pretty frail on the physical side, so we can take advantage of that. Bronzong can set rocks up. I believe it's going to run Levitate if it does come here. I don't see any reason to run Heat Proof when I have a Garchomp. But, you know, it gets Levitate, so it's immune to ground type moves, obviously. And can set up rocks, dual screens, Trick Room, Toxic, Gyro Ball, stuff like that. I got a burp. Excuse me. Rotom Frost. Dual Stab hits incredibly hard, especially with Z Blizzard. That's going to be a pain in the booty to deal with. Can trick with a Scarf, Will-O-Wisp, Thunderwave. Excuse me. Oh my god, I just ate, my bad. And can also defog away. Did I say defog twice? Maybe. Diggersby, a tremendous physical breaker. 56 base attack is like actually really bad, but with huge power, and you slap on a Life Orb or a Band, it's hitting incredibly hard. Its dual stab is stupid to switch into. Gets the elemental punches as well, and it's pretty fast for a wall breaker of that caliber at 78, so it's not bad. Speaking of wall breakers, he has a base 100 wall breaker with the Entei. Banded Sacred Fire and Sun, which I am bringing, is going to be hitting pretty hard, but I do have some counters to that. It's also pretty decently fat, 115 HP, and it's really limited in its moves, so you're going to see like Sacred Fire, E-Speed, Stone Edge, stuff like that, and then like 4th random move. Dancy, I believe it's also going to come to help with my Mega Houndoom, and yeah, it's going to come, I feel like. Can set up rocks, Z Heal Bell, or regular Heal Bell, because, again, it's free Z move rules in this league, so he could easily run Z Heal Bell, so that could definitely be a problem. Rock Slide. I meant Rock Polish. Calm Mind sets with pretty good coverage is definitely a bring here, and I don't know why I don't have it, but he also has Pangoro. Can do parting shot things, gets elemental punches as well, bullet punch, stuff like that. So yeah, everything on your screen is able to come, and I'm just gonna preface this by saying this is a horrendous matchup for me, dude. Like, it's actually, this is the worst time I've ever had building for a team in like so long, because any one of these, including the Pangoro, can come. Like, they all have a reason to come here. Like, I don't see any reason, or I don't see anything on his team that says, okay, he's not going to bring that. Like, he can bring anything on this team. So it just makes it like 10 times worse to prep for. And before I get into my team builder, like, I'm just going to say that we're both likely going to be making playoffs if we continue the winning rate that we're both at. So I'm not going to go way too try hard on this team build. Now, of course, I'm going to be doing my best to win the game like 100% of the time, but I'm not going to reveal all of my cards, you know what I mean? Because if we're going to make it to playoffs together and we play him in like finals or round one, whatever it is, I really want to conceal sets so he doesn't know what I'm going to bring. So yeah, that's going to be a really good thing for me, and he doesn't get as much information as he would have. And yeah, he's a couple of rockers with the Bronzong and the not Diggersby, the Diancie. He has spikes with the Diggersby, T-spikes with the Tentacruel. He has Defog with the Latias, Tornadus, Whimsicott, Rotom, and Rapid Spin with the Tentacruel. So yeah, he has really good rockers and defoggers. So yeah, let's just jump right into my team here. Now, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be way too try-harding. I'm going to conceal some stuff from him in playoffs, so that's definitely going to be the thing that I'm going to be doing. Slowking is there because Entei. He could very well take advantage of my son and bring Banded Entei, and I can't do anything about it. So Rocky Helmet Slowking with Psyshock, Scald, Shadow Ball, and Slack Off. This thing is also a secondary check to the Diggersby in quotation marks because it cannot take a banded hit very well at all, even with Max. And Rocky Helmet's really good because in case he wants to go for like a U-turn on something, like the Diggersby, we only take like 50% if he's like Life Orb or something, and we get really good Rocky Helmet chip. And with spikes, T-spikes, well, I don't have spikes, but I meant like rocks. That's going to be really good for my Sun Core or whatever late game. And in general, it's going to be really good for chipping down the Entei. In case he just wants to go for a Sacred Fire, I get to chip it down with rocks again, like I said before. Dual Stab is just really good here. Psyshock for Tentacruel specifically. Like, I could run Psyshock or Psychic to hit the Conkeldurr harder, but Psyshock is just better. This is also kind of a check to Conkeldurr. I originally had Cobra, but I felt like getting chip on things like the Conkeldurr is going to be really good for me because I can Psyshock that, and I believe if Conkeldurr comes, it definitely has merit here. It's going to come for Mach Punching my Mega Houndoom, which kind of rips through his team, so I do expect the Conkeldurr to come. So in any way, if I can chip that Conkeldurr, it's going to be really good for me, and Psyshock is still going to do a lot, and if he's AV, it kind of also covers that with Psyshock, and I do expect it to be Guts because I'm going to be carrying Scald. And Shadow Ball is specifically there for the Latias and the Bronzong, because I really want Bronzong chipped for my Garchomp. It really helps out the Garchomp. And yeah, it's a straightforward set. I don't really need much explanation, even though I talked about it a lot, actually. So it's a straightforward set. I explained it pretty well, I feel like. So again, we have another Max Pokemon with the Clefable. One, I really needed Unaware for the Mega Latias. I did not want that thing to just win with Calm Mind, because it definitely can set up on a lot of things on my team. Now, I'm not a fan of that. Heal Bell is really good because I feel like he's going to spread around Toxic and T-Spikes with Tentacruel, stuff like that. And Heal Bell is going to be really good, so I can heal up my Torkoal, my Slowking, that don't really like to be chipped, and they're really key late game, or just in the game in general. Moonlight is really good because I can't run Soft Build with Unaware, of course. And it gives me even more health in Sun. I believe I said that before, like in another team build. But it gives me even more health than 50% in Sun. It gives me like 2/3, I believe, or 75%, something like that. So that's going to be really good. Moonblast is obviously for damage. Thunderbolt is good, so I can pressure the Tentacruel, kind of. I could change it to Psyshock, but I felt like Thunderbolt is just better. And it pressures the Tentacruel. It's still going to do like 20, not even 20, like something pitiful like that. But you know what? Any chip damage on the Tentacruel is going to be really good for my Mega Houndoom late game. So anything helps, and Lefties is really good. I have this as another check to the Conkeldurr. It can run Poison Jab, but I feel like it has Move Slot Syndrome. So this is a secondary check to the Conkeldurr, and can take some Diggersby hits pretty safely. And I get to check if it's like Bandit or Scarf or whatever. So yeah, this is a straightforward set. It's there for Mega Lottie, basically. And yeah, straightforward. Torkoal is really interesting here. I have Fire Blast, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and the Toxic. So this EV spread in the defense lets me live Banded Stone Edge from Entei after rocks. Yes, that's crazy. Because 140 defense is actually really good. But yes, I did just say it can live a Stone Edge from a Banded Entei after rocks. That's just insane. And the rest is Spadef to help out against Lottie and stuff like that, and some special attack. Now I have Heat Rock and Drought because my win con is 100% the Mega Houndoom. Like 100%, like no doubt about it. So if I can extend Sun Turns for my Mega Houndoom, that's going to be huge for me. And Fire Blast because I'm not investing a lot in the special attack. And so Fire Blast is going to be giving me a little more extra damage, especially on like the Bronzong. It has the potential to knock it out. Because if it's Heat Proof, I'm actually glad, because then that means Garchomp just is really good against it. And I don't really see a reason for him to run Heat Proof anyway. Stealth Rock is really good to whittle down a team for my Mega Houndoom, of course. Rapid Spin is because T-Spikes and Rocks are not good against me. My win cons and my breakers with Torkoal, Mega Houndoom, and Arrow are all weak to Rocks, so I want to spin those away. Toxic is good to whittle down the Diancie and the Mega Latios if it wants to try to set up on me. So that's going to be really good. And in general, just to whittle down his team. And yeah, a lot of Spadef, just really bulky utility Torkoal here. The thing is, if he has a Bronzong, I'm definitely going to lead this thing. But this is my likely lead anyway, regardless of what he has, because I really want to get up rocks, prevent him from getting up rocks on his own, and I can spin those away. Because I believe he does not have a Ghost type, so I can get a free spin on everything except for like Rocky Helmet Mons, which I don't really care about. And yeah, I really need to preserve this late game as well, because this is going to help out my win con, my Mega Houndoom, like a lot. So if I can keep this thing early game and late game, like get it out of range of rocks or whatever it is, that's going to be really good for my Mega Houndoom. And yeah, that's like the support Torkoal that I'm bringing here. Garchomp, 4 attacks here, Dragonium Z, Crunch, Outrage, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. I originally had rocks on this thing, but I put it on Torkoal over Earth Power because it's going to do nothing to Tentacruel anyway, and who cares if Tentacruel's coming in on me anyway. I personally don't, but yeah, I have Crunch because Bronzong, because it hard walls, like without Crunch, if I put rocks on there, it hard walls my entire set, so I'm not a fan of that. And Z Outrage obliterates everything on his team, like everything except a Whimsicott and Conkeldurr, like everything else it dies to a Z Outrage, which is amazing for me. Earthquake is really good because it really pressures things like the Diancie, things like the Tentacruel, which are both going to come like 100%, 99%, let's put it that way. Earthquake is really good at pressuring those two mons, which are definitely going to come for my Mega Houndoom and Victory Bell, I'm not going to bring it obviously, but it's going to, Tentacruel's a pretty good check to that. And Poison Jab because of Whimsicott. Now the EV spread here is so that I can live a Life Orb Moonblast from Whimsicott from full, and then I can kill it with a Poison Jab 100%. And I took it out of attack because I'm Adamant. I can run Adamant here like easily, so I don't, even if I take away an attack, like I still have 378 attack, which is phenomenal anyways. So like reducing attack in that aspect is not that big of a deal for me. And this can potentially take like some hits, like an Ice Beam from Tentacruel if it's like max HP and special defense. And I can kill it with an Earthquake. So you never know, the Spadef investment and the HP investment could be very clutch here. And it also makes it so that I don't have to predict like a Whimsicott coming in. I don't have to go for the risky Poison Jab. I can just go for the Earthquake or whatever on anything, and if it comes in, that's fine. I live a Moonblast from full, if it's a Life Orb Moonblast and max special attack. If it's Specs, I obviously die, but I really feel like Specs is not the set here, if he does decide to bring it. And I can just kill with the Poison Jab right after. And this also outspeeds Adamant Entei with max speed, because I'm not really worried about outspeeding Jolly. Entei doesn't hit as hard, so that's fine with me. And yeah, this is a really good breaker because it takes care of the things that Mega Houndoom does not like, which is really good for me. And I ran Yachi like every single time I brought Chomp this season, maybe?
I might have brought Life Orb or something at some point, but he might expect Yachi, and that's fine with me. And that may make him like not want to bring like Rotom Frost maybe, because I can just kill it with a Stone Edge, but in Mox I can in Mox it did run Chardy, but either way, like Z Outrage kills it even with like the reduced attack investment, so that's really good. So yeah, that's a chomp set. It's gonna play a really big role here. And Mega Houndoom is my win con. Fire Blast, Dark Pulse, Solar Beam, Flame Charge. Flame Charge is to get the speed boost on things, so I can outspeed Tornteat primarily. And I can kill it with a Fire Blast in the sun with Solar Power. And I Flash Fire initially, so I can switch into like Sacred Fires kinda well. He might predict that and go for like a Stone Edge, which is fine by me. I mean, Torkoal is probably going to be my switch anyway, but you never know. Early Bird and like, what else is it? Unnerve isn't as good as Flash Fire. Fire Blast, Dark Pulse do a number against his team, and even if he's like max Spit Def on Tentacruel, it takes 50% from Dark Pulse and Sun, so I just need a little chip on that and the Diancie, and this thing looks really good. Solar Beam and Sun does around 70% to the Diancie, so that's really good for me. So like I said, I just need those two things chipped, and Houndoom just kind of wins late game, you know. And I also need to take care of any potential Scarfers, something like the Diggersby, something like the Torn is not going to run Scarf. If anything, Torn is going to run Z move. Like it's a really obvious Z move here. Like it's not really a prediction. Like it's a pretty obvious Z move here because it's obviously reduced accuracy, Hurricane and Sun, because I'm bringing Torkoal, and I do have a Sun team if it wasn't clear already, or like Z Fighting or something for my Torkoal, like Z Focus Blast. I don't think he's going to run Z Superpower at all, but it's either going to be Z Hurricane or Z Focus Blast, which is fine by me. I just know that I need to keep that in the back of my head for like the future when I need to switch in on it or something. So yeah, this is straightforward set. It wins late game, like I said before, and it's going to be really important to keep that Torkoal around late game so that I can just win with my Mega Houndoom. So yeah. Next up, I have my Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl was really nice here. Also, first of all, I'm just going to say, I love Aerodactyl, dude. It's been putting in tremendous amounts of work. It's tied for second in kills this season at like 5 or 6, which is really good. And I'm really loving Aerodactyl. It has that utility set that I ran with the Rocky Helmet. It can run offensive really well. You saw the power of the Z Stone Edge last game, picking up 3 kills. So that was really good for me. But this time we're running Unnerve Life Orb set, Crunch, Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, Defog. I really like this because it resists Diggersby's Dual Stab, and I have a pretty good amount of defense, so if he goes for a turn, that's fine by me, because I can take it kind of well if it's not banded. So yeah, it can definitely run Ice Punch for my Garchomp, but I did bring Yachi a couple times, so I don't know. Excuse me. And yeah, Crunch, Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, Defog is really good. Crunch is for the Bronzong, because I really want Bronzong gone, and Mega Latias. The main thing is Mega Latias, so I don't have to rely on Stone Edge missing the entire time. I can two-shot Mega Latias, most Mega Latias in sets with Crunch, with Life Orb, so that's really good. And it also takes care of Bronzong for Garchomp potentially. Stone Edge is really good, so I can outspeed and kill the Tornadus, which I think is the main reason I'm bringing this thing, other than resisting both of Diggersby's dual stabs. Aerial Ace is just for the conk, which I do expect to come here. Because like Aerial Ace, it does a pretty good damage to that, and he can't really knock me out with Mach Punch or anything, because I have a pretty good amount of HP investment in, I was about to say HP investment in the HP, but yeah, Aerial Ace is really good for that, and also just a really good neutral move against his entire squad. I could run Earthquake, but I felt like I had enough things to pressure the Diancie and things like the Garchomp and the Slowking, stuff like that. And I have Defog on here because, like I said, my team does not appreciate T-Spikes or the rocks at all, because 3 of my mons are weak to the rocks, and the rest are grounded and can be hit with the T-Spikes. I don't believe he's going to bring Fortress at all. It doesn't make sense here, but he definitely could. This also covers that. Wait, actually, he doesn't have Fortress, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't have Fortress. I'm thinking of Ace for some reason. And my Clefable is not Magic Guard. It's obviously Unaware, which is pretty obvious here for, like, the Calm Mind Lottie, which I do expect him to be prepared for Unaware Clefable and for him to know that I'm going to run Unaware Clefable, so that's fine by me. So T-Spikes on Clefable is not going to be fun, even if I do have Heal Bell. Defog is going to be really good just in case, like, Torkoal is, like, at 25%, and I can defog those rocks, so I can sack this thing, and then go into my Torkoal, set up Sun, die, and then go into Houndoom to win the game. So that's going to be really good for me. I originally had Roost over this thing, but I don't really care about health on this thing at all. It's just there to outspeed and kill Torn, there to crunch things, there to Stone Edge things, and there to just defog and resist Diggersby's dual stabs. None of those involve HP, like, at all. And funnily enough, like, the investment that I'm running here, I'm creeping Torn, and actually the rest of my HP investment actually makes it a life orb number, so that's really convenient for me, actually, so I don't have to reduce my IVs or anything like that. So that's gonna be really good. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I rambled about this team like really long here, so I'm sorry, but it was such a tough matchup that you know, I really had to explain in depth what my thought process was in the team. And again, I'm not revealing any of my really good tricks. I definitely have ideas for when we play in the future, if we do play, so I'm keeping those in the back of my head, and I'm not revealing any of them. You can't even pay me to reveal them unless it's like $1,000, then I'll send you everything. But yeah, my team, it's fine. I'm not really confident about this matchup just because it's so horrendous to prep for, but you know, I'm really confident in Mega Houndoom. My win con here is either hacks or getting rid of any Scarfers, Tentacruel, and Diancie with things like the Garchomp and Slowking that pressure both the Tentacruel and the Diancie with their moves, and then just win with Mega Houndoom and Sun. That's a game plan, and you know, that's gonna be the deal for me. And yeah, the battle will go up tomorrow. I really want to go 5-0. Hopefully I do win, because that puts me in a really good position for playoffs and puts me in first in the league, because I believe Jed is the only other undefeated team with me, and he's in the same division as me, so I really want to clinch that division, their top division spot. And I'm really nervous, man. I'm really nervous because Ian's, I've known Ian for a long time, and he's a really good battler, so I'm really looking forward to this battle, and it's going to be a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me, and like always, have a good day. Swell day. I said that wrong. Peace.